All right, our next guest is brought to you by Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of the Colorado Avalanche. Every time the Avs win and score 3 or more goals, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order the very next day. Go to papajohns.com and use the promo code AVS3, AVS, and then the number 3. And our next guest is straight from Talking Stick in Scottsdale, Arizona, where the Colorado Rockies are holding spring training. The newest member of the Rockies starting lineup, catcher Nick Hundley. Nick, thanks for taking the time and joining us on Skype. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, fellas.
So, Nick, how are you liking your first year with the Rockies? Is it everything you dreamed of?
More. Much more. It's been great so far. It's been a good couple weeks.
Nick, you know, one of the reasons you were brought in and signed to a 2-year deal is, I think, I'm not talking out of school here, the Rockies have a starting rotation that isn't seen as one of the stellar rotations in the majors, but the Rockies and General Manager Jeff Bridich feel that you, with your defensive skills, can make that starting rotation better. Are you settling in? Is this starting rotation maybe better than advertised?
For sure. For sure. I was in a situation last year in Baltimore where nobody talked about that rotation either, and it was one of the most underrated, the best rotations, big strength. So our goal is to make this rotation a strength for us and get it going.
Nick, is there anybody in that starting rotation who might surprise us? There are about 7 or 8 candidates for that rotation right now, especially at the back end. Anybody who you've caught in a bullpen session or in a game so far who's thrown the ball and you've said, wow, much better than I thought?
Oh, man, I caught Eddie Butler in L.A. 2 days ago, and he threw 3 innings, so I gave him a hit. He was lights out. His stuff is as good as anybody in the league, and now it's just a matter of getting him going and being consistent. The stuff is there for this staff and this rotation. The stuff's there. Now it's just a matter of commanding that stuff and being consistent with it.
Nick, this is Woody Page, and I made reference before we brought you on several minutes ago that when the Rockies brought Joe Girardi here, and I know you know him as a manager, but maybe wasn't old enough, forgive me, to follow his career, but I think that the Rockies would like to kind of duplicate Joe Girardi. He came in and he was a leader. He was a tough guy. He was a scrap irons kind of guy, and he hit about 268, 270 for the team. He drove in about 68 runs. He hit about 16, 17 home runs. Would that be a summation of what you'd like to be for the Colorado Rockies, if not better?
I just want to win. You know, I don't care about any numbers. That stuff. I want to go out and catch winners. You know, I want to go out and win series, win the NL West. And as you guys know, once you get in the playoffs, nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, you can't sit there and tell me that anybody thought the Royals and the Giants would be battling it out in the World Series. So that's my only goal, to put numbers on it on March 12th, whatever the day is something that I'm not interested in doing.
Nick, you played for the Padres for 6.5 of your 7 years in the major leagues. You came into Coors Field a lot. You played 9 or 10 games here every single year, so you've gotten your fair share of at-bats at Coors Field. But now you're going to get even more than your fair share. You're probably going to get a couple hundred at least at-bats at Coors Field every year. Are you excited about playing here and swinging the bat here on a daily basis?
For sure. First of all, I love the city of Denver. I was fortunate to live in Boulder for a couple of years. Well, my dad was coaching football in Colorado, so that was I love the area. And then obviously hitting at Coors Field, there's a lot of opportunity for hits, a lot of opportunity for power. So it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Nick, I took a particular interest last year in Eddie Butler. And, of course, he and Jonathan Gray have almost been paired as guys that the Rockies are going to be depending on moving forward in either the present or the future. That Eddie Butler, based on some reports, has moved into the possibility of being a starter. Looking at those two young guys, I wonder if you'd give us your impressions of two of the bright spots in the Rockies' future.
Yeah, sky's the limit. Those guys have big arms, big stuff, wipe out pitches. They're top of the rotation guys. So to have two guys like that coming up, battling for rotation spots is very good. It lends itself to a lot of competition, and that competition is a good thing because it breeds success. And guys feed off that, guys feed off each other, and they know that everybody's got to get better every day, or you're going to get left behind. So I'm excited about the future for the Rockies pitching staff.
Nick, we're told that Jonathan Gray will probably start in the minors, and then hopefully, if things are going well, be called up later in the year. You think he's ready to put on a major league uniform right now, day one?
Oh, fortunately, that's not my job.
I tried to trap you, Nick.
Yeah,
way to dance.
I don't get paid for that. I need a raise when we make those decisions.
Let me ask you about the manager. We'll put you on the spot again. Walt Weiss was such a competitor when he was a player. Your reaction so far to working with Walt, who's sort of a low-key kind of guy, but he's very, as I said, very competitive as a manager, very smart as a manager. He's played for, as you have, a number of great managers that have influenced him, Tony La Russa, to be specific, and Bobby Cox. How's your relationship with Walt Weiss, and what are your early feelings about him as a manager?
I'll tell you a quick story. Coming over here before I signed, I think it was like 2008, 2007 was one of my first big league camps. I was playing with a guy named Doug Brocail, a pitcher who had a tremendous career and one of the tougher guys I've ever been around. And we were playing down at High Corbett Field in Tucson, and Doug Brocail hit Matt Holliday for the second time in the spring, and the bench is cleared. And after the game, I was talking to him about it. He said all I was worried about was where Walt Weiss was. He said there have been two guys in my life. I hit Kevin Mitchell, and he asked me if it was on purpose. I said no, it wasn't. And then Walt Weiss. So those are those two guys I don't want to fight ever. Based on all that and being around Walt for the last couple of weeks, I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. When he speaks, people listen, and rightfully so.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. You don't want to get into it with him. He loves mixed martial arts, and I've seen him wrestle. You do not want to get into a wrestling match with Walt.
No, not at all. And that kind of presence is a great thing for us, and to see him and be led by someone like that who demands a lot out of us is a good thing.
Nick, really appreciate your time, and nice to see you.
Can I finish with one thing?
Yeah,
Nick,
sure.
Nick, I have this thing when we talk to players down there, and we've had wide varying differences. If you were playing baseball, and I'm going to set you up here, Eddie Butler told me last year he would be racing monster trucks. We had a pitcher on Tyler last week who said he would be working in ER as a doctor.
Matzik.
Yeah. If you were playing baseball, what is it that you'd like to be doing?
Oh, I dreamed about playing football and baseball until my dad didn't recruit me to college, so that didn't work out. So if I wasn't playing baseball, I don't know. I'd probably be teaching or doing something like that. Be hanging out. Maybe be an athletic director. Maybe run a college program or something.
Down at the University of Arizona, maybe?
We got a good guy now. We got a really good AD down there now. So maybe somewhere else.
All right. Hey, Nick, really appreciate it, and we'll see you down at spring training in a couple weeks.
Anytime. Thanks, fellas.
All right, that's Nick Hundley, the new catcher for the Rockies.
I want to try and ask every player before spring training over, because it was so.